All right, Marcel, how you doing?
I am happy to be back in my car. Uh, I'm not gonna lie, it's not even really that cold outside per se, but I'm not exaggerating. It was colder in the press box than it was on the field. I just shot something for Sports Center on the field and said, "Damn, I wish I was here all game." Sat up there freezing, so I'm happy to be sitting in a warm car. Inside cold and outside cold just feel different.
You
Right?
mean the
They just they
the
just feel
Dolphin
different.
locker room was in a meat market, a meat where you can hang meat or whatever, a meat locker? Because I'm sure that was a cold locker room.
The Dolphins locker room, I mean, predictably cleared out pretty fast. It's not something like I'm really finna tweet because it's Christmas and they lost. It was a bad loss. So like two factors that will clear a locker room out fast. It was by the time I got in there after McDaniel and Tua spoke, the only ones remaining were Cater Kohu and Keon Crossen. Everybody else had taken off. And again, it's Christmas, so it's kind of what you expect.
Two guys that played well. Crossan actually had his best game as a Dolphin this season, I would say. So yeah, that's interesting that those two guys stay. Kohu has nothing to apologize for. He's played well this season. That young man has got a future, man. I really like what I've seen from him. But let's get to Tua now. And so this is not about off script. This is not about being short. This is not about having a strong enough arm. It's just about winning now. And so it's not about talking about all the stupid things like, oh, can he throw in the cold and all that crap and all that. No, it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with decision making. It has to do with winning. And that's now a different kind of, it's a different conversation. But Tua has now built up a bigger burden on his back now
Hey,
with these 4 losses in December.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. We are gonna have a different conversation. Um, and stay with me as always, because y'all know I don't say anything that I can't explain. I looked at it initially as Tua needs to create more off script before he enters that next level of quarterback play. Had
Right.
no impact. I'm not saying anything about Super Bowls, about winning, about it
I
was
don't
to
know.
put him on
No.
the next tier. I was wrong in this way. It's not just on Tua. The entire script is off for this offense. The rhythm and the timing is off. Opposing defenses have now had what are they? They're 8-7, so 15 games of tape to watch, and it kind of has felt like for at least 3 of the past 4 weeks that these defenses know this offense about as well as the Dolphins' own offense does. It seems like they know the routes, they know the timing. If you watch Tua, he has kind of a habit of making a decision before the snap. He makes his decision before he reads the
Yes.
play. He can scan
Yes.
a defense. He can read a defense, but
Of
he
course.
has a nasty little habit of this is where I want to throw the ball. That's that. The first interception to Tyreek, throwing to Tyreek, he said, yeah, I tried to throw it over the defender and ended up throwing it over Tyreek as well.
Yeah, in
Why
between
are you
seven
making that
guys.
read? Why are you throwing that in the first place?
Right.
You never came off your read. You
It's a
never came off
stupid
your
throw.
read.
Stupid
It
throw.
was a stupid throw. Second, I'm gonna have to watch more film of. He said it was a
That
miscommunication.
look,
Um,
if look at the clip that I put on Twitter, and you can see Tua as he's walking off the field, looking upfield to Mostert, like, "Yo, dude, didn't you read it?" And so that it looked like it was for sure. Two of the
it,
three are on Tua
yeah,
for sure.
I gotta see what because Tua said he
It
maybe
doesn't
called the
matter,
wrong
dude.
play.
The shovel
Mike said it was
pass
the wrong route. Doesn't matter.
doesn't
And
matter,
obviously
bro.
the
The
third one
shovel
is on it, but
pass,
it's still
yeah,
the
just
shovel pass was
dumb,
it was
and
dumb.
dumb,
It was it was a
dumb.
bad. It was there's two guys in the NFL that can make that throw, and
Mahomes
that's
and
not a
Josh Allen, and that's it. And those are the only guys that should be trying that kind of shit.
that's it.
You know what I
That's you
mean?
got to learn how to say
Or
guys
no,
sometimes. But
and Herbert. Herbert's big enough that he can flick it. If you're a big, strong guy, I get that you can like kind of flick it. So I understand that. But and he also had the fumble that Hunt recovered. I think it was Hunt. I think it was Hunt that recovered.
it was
So
on the snap. I want to say that was a bad snap. That was a bad two plays. It's like a snowball of
Yeah.
two plays for Connor
Oh,
Williams
no,
there,
no,
who
wait a
has
minute. I'm
been
not
good
talking
at
about the
center.
bad snap. I'm talking about the sack. I'm talking about the sack that he refused to take.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
That was the fumble that Hunt recovered. No, Tua actually recovered that bad snap. He landed on. In fact, I was really happy with Tua. That was one of the times that I was happy with Tua because he grabs the ball and he notices that the D is coming at him and he just went right down right away. So he didn't fight it. Just go down, dude, and take the sack. And he was smart enough
Like
to do that.
there's a little bit of irony in the shovel pass, because the shovel pass was off script. That was I
Off script.
guarantee not. I guarantee not. But my entire argument has not been he needs to do it more. It's that he needs to do it better. It's not that he needs to
Not who he
try that
is.
every single time. I know
It's not who he
it's
is.
not who he is, but it doesn't mean that's not who he can be. Like he can develop that trait. But
That's what I'm
neither
trying.
here nor
That's
there.
where
Like it was a
that's where look, dude. That's where an old fart like me steps in, and I tell you because I've seen these quarterbacks throughout the years. He's not that guy. He's like Montana and Breeze and all. They're not going to be doing a whole bunch of off script.
so
They're guys
but
that are going to win from the pocket. Once in a while, they'll spin in a Ravens game, and they'll
which he can
find
do.
somebody and they'll hit somebody. But if you think he's going to live off of that, or that's going to be part of his game, or that's going to be in his toolbox, that's no, man.
Which okay, I hear what you're
No.
saying. I hear what you're saying. But in the meantime, while he is doing most of his damage from the pocket, and most of it is reliant, as I think we can see eye to eye on, most of it is reliant on rhythm and timing and anticipation.
Yes.
The issue with that is defenses can anticipate too, and they can take note of certain tendencies. That is what we saw today. So like that's where I'm saying, okay, when I say off script, when the route you're anticipating going to be open is now taken away. Like how does it's now time to counter. It is now time to counter. Can you move a defense with your arm, with your eyes and your legs?
He does that. He does that all.
He has done it. He has done it.
Yeah, he does.
It's a matter of doing it better and doing it better consistently. That again is keeping him from really good to great. That's what I think the craziest thing about like the response to me saying all this shit is. Like, some of y'all are coming at me like I said, Tua sucks. Like I've been highly complimentary of him. So
no.
It's
just if you listen to your words, you said that was the next way to then measure him, and you can't do that because that's not fair to him. That's not what Peyton Manning's going to do. That's not what Tom Brady's going to do. That's really a lot of pocket quarterbacks. That's really not what they do. They just live in the pocket. Matt Ryan's going to live in the pocket. It's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? Guys are going to, that's who they're, Phil Simms, you name it, over the years. That's just the way it is. And guys will survive. The two guys that were in the Super Bowl are really pocket passers nowadays. Stafford and Burrow, those are two pocket passers. Can Burrow make some stuff off script? Sure. Is that really the way he's going to live? No, dude. It's just he's going to make his living from the pocket. As he ages,
but
he will not move much,
okay,
bro.
But what people
from that pocket.
But what you haven't mentioned when you talk about these quarterbacks and these passers, because the Rams had Cooper Kupp and Cooper Kupp had the season he had last year, people might assume that was an offense first team. That wasn't an offense first team. The defense was excellent. The Bengals have all these offensive weapons. They have Joe Burrow. Last year, especially during the playoffs, their defense got them there, not just their offense. Peyton Manning, 2015, the defense won, not Peyton Manning. The Buccaneers, good on both sides of the ball. I'll give them that. The Buccaneers with Brady, good on both sides of the ball.
Yeah,
but like a lot of these, if you're gonna have a quarterback that is not doing the off script, the Mahomesian stuff, like there generally is something else to fall on. There's an elite defense. There's an elite run game. You're not winning because of a pocket passing quarterback. You're not winning Super Bowl because of a pocket back. There has to be more. So if that's going to be the play style, which is if that's who he is, if that's going to be the play style, now the problem and the issue becomes that defense needs to be needs to return to that turnover machine turnover factory that we've seen in the past. The defense
Well, no,
needs to step up. The run
I'll
game
give you also
needs to be
another
better.
example, Doggy. If that's your quarterback, then on all those third and shorts against the Bills, run, mofo, run, extend drives, keep your quarterback fresh, keep your defense fresh. You might have scored more. Today, 3rd and 3, you're gouging them at 9 yards a run. 9 yards a run. And you don't run. You pass and you failed. Thank God later on in 4th and 1, you actually ran the damn ball. But these are things that, that's the other thing about McDaniel. He's a little hard-headed. He's stubborn. Look at Gesicki. He comes in and he makes a play for you, but it shows you like you're so stubborn that you can't find a way to put a playmaker on the field. Then, it's you got McDaniel has to take some responsibility for all of this on how he, the squib kick or whatever. Like, why are you going to do that at that time in the game? And why would you risk on giving Aaron Rodgers a short field or something like that? I just, these are things that I don't understand that he is doing. And look, by the way, Salah, Shanahan, and LaFleur, all 3 of his coworkers beat him. Dude, sometimes you just keep it simple. When your line is running, punch him in the mouth, but then you turn it off and then you want to go back to it and it doesn't work. Well, then, bro, that's not what you got here. It's not a faucet that you can turn on and off.
They do need to start running. They do need to run the ball more consistent. And it is. It's not just a Tua issue. And we talked about this a lot, in between the Tua debate last week. But that it is kind of starting to fall back on Mike McDaniel. San Francisco, I have no problems with that game plan. I have no problems with that. Tua was bad. Chargers, Tua was bad, and it was a bad game plan. Bills,
yes,
bad game plan. Today, mix of both again. This was like the Chargers. This is like the Chargers loss all over again.
We're on the same page. And by the way, receivers continue to screw up. That's the other thing that's kind of been a thing for the Dolphins too. Receivers also have to be sharp too, because they're running wrong routes, they're making bad decisions, they're dropping passes. Those are touchdowns last week. Those are things that have to also change too. But you and I are on the same page. And by the way, the Tua discussion that we had last week, since you're young, you're smart, that you have foresight, because that's where we're headed as a sport. We're not there yet because you can't produce accurate athletic quarterbacks yet. Often they still get to the league and they're still inaccurate, and they got to get accurate. The Russell Wilsons of the world are very few and far between. They get to the league that they're super athletic and they're accurate. Those are hard.
I would argue,
but I'm saying is 10,
that we're there
15,
now.
20 years from now.
No, we're there now.
10, 15, 20 years from now, I think that's where you're headed. That requirement that you want will probably be needed more in the games down the line. Right now, still, the pocket passer is still the dominant passer.
No, that's I'm going to hard disagree there, because like I said, name me the 5 best quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Name me the best, but name me the quarterback that can't move outside the pocket right now that we consider a top 2 quarterback.
Dude, you can do all the little small talk. Let's talk championships. Who wins championships?
But you just brought it up. You just said that. You just said pocket passes rule the league.
In this millennium, in the last 22 years, how many pocket passers have won, and how many?
How about this decade? Like this decade, we're talking about pocket pass. You said pocket passers run the NFL, but that's not true.
Pocket passers. The guy that won last.
Kirk Cousins might be the best. Kirk Cousins might be the best pure pocket passer. And I just said it wasn't because of him. They didn't win because of Matt Stafford.
Oh, okay, but
they didn't win because of Matt. They won because that defense has Aaron Donald, Von Miller, and Jalen Ramsey.
You don't get to play that game. They won the championship, dude.
No,
okay? And with Brady,
no.
All those championships with Brady and Peyton Manning. The first one, if you don't want to give them the second one, well, then the first one and the championship with Breeze. Come on, dude. I mean, you look over time, pocket passers have dominated.
Historically. Yes, historically. I will give you historically. But I'm not talking history right now. I'm talking about this NFL. This current NFL, Matt Stafford contributed greatly to that, to that championship. But we're not going to sit here and say like that is the reason. That pocket passing offense is the reason why the Rams won.
If Joe Burrow wins, it's a pocket passer, bro. It's a pocket passer. Joe Burrow's not going to be running around with his legs.
Have you ever seen Joe Burrow play?
Huh? Yeah.
Have you seen Joe Burrow play? He's not a stationary quarterback.
And if anything, yeah, he's pretty stationary. He's back there.
There's a difference between stationary, like a pocket passer, and a quarterback who's good from the pocket. Like Joe Burrow is good from the pocket. That doesn't mean he can't move outside and make plays. Like that's one of the things he thrives at.
Moving around because he's 24 years old. In 2 or 3 more years, he won't move around anymore.
Okay. And again, how old is Tua?
Again, I'm going off of experience. I know what Joe Burrow is. I see it there. He's a pure pocket passer.
Dude.
And as he goes on, he'll run less and less and less because he's
a pure pocket passer who is able to make things happen outside. The only quarterback, Kirk Cousins is the best quarterback in the NFL who is not capable of doing things off script and doing things outside. He is a pure pocket passer in that he can't do shit else.
Well, right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well,
that's what you want? That's what you want, Kirk Cousins? You want Derek Carr? Did you see what Derek Carr did yesterday?
No, I want Tom Brady. You want to play that game?
People in hell want ice water.
You want to play that game? I'll take Drew Brees. You want to play that game? Well, you want to play that game? You want to conveniently pick somebody that constantly chokes? Go ahead. You can do that. I can pick the consistent winner.
Then calmly tell me the top quarterback in the NFL right now who's a pure pocket passer that doesn't make things happen outside.
No. Top.
Tell me one. Tell me one. Give me one.
I'm telling you, Burrow's he's really a pocket passer.
We disagree on Burrow's inability to make things happen outside the pocket.
But it's not designed.
And he does. That's the beauty of off script. It's not designed. That's why it's called off script.
Yes, but he does it out of desperation, and he doesn't do it much, dude. You make it sound like it's part of his game.
Nobody wants to do that. That's not the call. That's not the design of the it's called off script because it's something that's not happening by design. Like you think 2 weeks ago, you think the Chargers wanted Justin Herbert running around for his life for 4 quarters? Absolutely not.
No, actually, he's pretty smart on that. He's not like Josh Allen that runs because he's a maniac. He actually
just so assuming that we disagree on Joe Burrow, give me one. There is none, dude.
Because we're evolving to that area now. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We're evolving to that point. Right now, it's great. I'm looking at it now. Right now, it's Brady. Purdy is the pocket passer there. Geno Smith, the highest rated passer right now? He's a pocket passer also.
Do you remember what Brock Purdy did in week 13? Brock Purdy can move around. Brock Purdy could move around. Geno Smith can move around, but he is a pocket passer. But again, are we ready to call? Are we calling Geno Smith one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL? Like, are we saying Geno Smith runs the NFL?
No. But weirdly, he is one of the better passers this year, which is really strange. Derek Carr is also a pocket passer, not a clutch guy either. Dak Prescott, pocket passer also.
Dak Prescott can move.
He moves.
Dak Prescott last night because Haley, of course, works for the Cowboys, so I follow the game, I follow the stat line to talk to her about it. Dak Prescott was spectacular. I think a pass rating in the 110s last night when hanging onto the ball for more than 2.5 seconds and throwing outside the pocket. Like, he is absolutely mobile. But he can be a pocket passer. He is a pocket passer that can make things happen outside the pocket. I mean, that's what I'm telling you.
We're evolving to that area. But Dak is not the guy that is going to live off script. He's going to live in the pocket. Okay? That's what I'm telling you. You have foresight with your statement. But currently, we're not there yet. Okay, we're still not there yet. Where the accurate athletic passer is out there winning championships. It's mostly the guys that will stay in the pocket more often than not. Can they do off script? Yeah, Tua does a couple things off script, but it's not what he's going to live off of. Is what I'm saying. He's still
That's
going to have
fine.
to live inside that pocket. Is
All
my
right.
point.
I just what's it called? If we're
You'll
just
be right.
the
You'll
list,
be
but the
right
list
as
of
time
I'm just
goes
saying like
on. You'll be right.
I'm just saying that the list of quarterbacks that don't make things happen when plays break down, that are just pure pocket passers. If the pocket breaks down, they're burnt. Are guys like Mac Jones, like Kirk Cousins, like Derek Carr,
Tom Brady.
who
You
else?
kept
Like
leaving
Tom
out Tom.
Brady,
You
like
keep
Tom
leaving out
Brady,
Tom
who
Brady.
has like that team's not winning this year. So like with the exception of Cousins, who I don't know how the hell the Vikings keep winning games, but they do. So I got to respect it. Like all of those teams are mid to below average. So like
I've seen
I'm
that
saying,
those
like
kind of teams end up losing in the playoffs in that close. They win all the close games in the regular season, and then in the first close game in the playoffs, boom, they're out. That's what's going to end up happening.
I think it is now approaching a level of concern, not just for Tua, but this offense as a whole that has been so reliant on timing and anticipation and rhythm that defenses are starting to are learning this offense.
Yeah,
They're learning it. And so like when you say when like I have comments pulled up here just in case somebody, says something, oh yeah, I want to touch on that. Like somebody says they have the number 2, I think it's not. I think it's number 3 passing offense entering today. Like I don't really care. I don't really
yeah.
care what happened before week 13 because fuck, man, week 13, 14, 15, 16, these
Amen.
defenses have figured them out except for the
Amen.
explosive play, which like I caught a lot of hell a couple weeks ago when I said outside of a 60-yard, a 65 and a 70 or whatever the hell I said yard pass, like 3 hyper explosive plays that the Dolphins were averaging like 150 yards per game. And people got mad and said, "What, those plays don't count? Those plays are part of the game. Those play, yeah, that's fine. They are, but explosive plays like that are always meant to be complementary, not the foundation of your offense. Because when you're basing your offense and you're becoming reliant on explosive 50-yard fucking downfield plays, I mean, McDaniel said it himself in training camp. Like those are plays. Like he didn't care about Tua's downfield arm strength because that's not something any quarterback's going to be asked to do several times a game. Any defense worth its weight is going to say, bro, fine, like take your 1 or 2, take your 50-yard pass per game. If I know you can't even get in the damn red zone outside of that, I think that they'll take that.
The funny thing that's
They're
going
not
on that.
sustaining drives. They're not sustaining
No,
drives outside of
you're
that.
1,000% right. The funny part that's developed out of all that shit is after all that talk that he can't throw the deep ball, nobody throws the deep ball more. Nobody completes the deep ball at a higher percentage than Tua and the Dolphins. That's the craziest part. Now, let's get to the meat of the matter. How much money has Tua already cost himself? Because by choking in December now the front office, you can't in the off season, you can't, oh no, let's start talking contract after year 4. No. Now you've kind of actually forced their hand to say, well, we got to play through year 4 and we'll see. And if not, you'll get tagged for year 5 or something like that. But Tua really also has cost himself a new contract because if you're the front office, there's no reason to give him a new contract now. There's no hurry to give him a new contract now. And so he's going to have to probably play through his year 4 without a deal and going into that critical year 5 where you decide if you're going to pick up the option or not. So these 4 games have not just been, catastrophic for the team and their playoff positions and all that stuff, but financially for Tua, that's also killed and put his new contract on the back burner.
Yeah, look, I don't want to fully make that jump now to a point where it's like to a point where I'm saying like Tua's future is in jeopardy. I don't want to fully I don't want to
I
go
didn't say
I don't want to
Tua's
go all
future.
the way there.
I'm not
I
saying
don't want to
that.
go
I'm
all
not
the way there. But like the going rate also guys I'm in the Dolphins, I'm in the stadium parking lot. There's cop cars everywhere. I'm not pulled over. It's okay. I appreciate the concern though. If I was pulled over, the last thing I'm gonna do Actually, nah. If I was pulled over, I'm definitely staying on the damn live stream,
Oh
man. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, you
yeah.
definitely have to. Yeah, yeah.
But no, I'm okay. I'm not driving. I appreciate the concern, guys. Um, the going rate for a starting quarterback right now, if we're going to talk trends and talking forecasting, the going rate for a starting quarterback right now is $40 million a year, especially with new TV deals kicking in. I think next year, it's $40 million a year. So if they are going to say Tua is our starting quarterback for the foreseeable future, like I think his reps are Chris Cabot and Lee Steinberg. Lee Steinberg, who reps Patrick Mahomes. You're
Yeah.
not getting a discount. Like it's not going to be, if they sign him, it's still going to be, I think, the same rate. It gets to a point now, excuse me, where I think depending on how far this losing streak goes and how able or incapable they are of turning things around, it gets to a point where Dolphins front office and coaching staff might say you're gonna need to prove it another year. You're
Yeah.
gonna need to do another year. And I am of the I said this about a month or so ago, maybe 2 months ago at this point. I don't know, man. Time is time. Where I don't know that the Dolphins pick up Tua's 5th year option. And I don't think and by saying that, I don't mean offense to him. I don't think it's something that fans should freak out about. I think it's like this. If you decline that 5th year, right? Either he's the guy after this year and you sign him after year 3, which is a recent precedent now. I don't think that's going to happen. So you give him one more year. After year 4, you're going to know if this is your guy or not. You're going to know. So if he's your guy after year 4, you sign him. If he's not, then you don't have that 5th year option. You're not tied into that. If you pick it up, though, if you exercise his 5th year option, and let's say he plays out year 4, and you say worst case scenario, no, this is not the guy. Like, no, we need somebody else. No, this is not our vision. You're locked into that 5th year already.
Right.
And time is money in the NFL, man. Like Tyreek Hill is not going to be Tyreek Hill forever. Like, and you're gonna have to pay Jalen Waddle eventually. A lot of people are going to need money very soon. So I
It
don't
will
actually,
be right now.
I don't think that because I don't think they pick up the 5th year. Like quarterbacks don't usually play on that 5th year. You're seeing Lamar play on his 5th year option, and there's a lot of controversy around that. Like Lamar wants a new contract. He wanted a
Yeah.
new contract months ago.
Well, that was
Like so,
that was a bad gamble on his part because he had the year right after the MVP year. Brother, a real agent would have that would have been that was his 3rd year. A real agent would have already had a deal in place by year 4, and it would have started right after year 4.
I don't want that. I don't want my take there to I don't want it to be ran with. I don't want people to misconstrue it. It's from a business perspective. Like it's not me overreacting and saying he's so bad, don't pick it up. It's that it just from a business standpoint, it doesn't make sense. Like the risks outweigh the rewards of picking up the 5th year option because you are going to know it ain't no damn quarterback who started 4 years that you don't know if he's your guy or not. They will know. You would ideally,
sure.
after this year, but they have another year of rookie scale, below market value, pay to him.
Mm-hmm.
So use the 4th year. Use the 4th. I don't think he gets an extension this year unless he just wakes up over the next month and leads into the Super Bowl. But after year 4, or you don't. You sign him or you don't, and you're not tied into a 5th year. So that's my take on it. That's my expectation. I want people to remember that clip. Don't run in and say Marcel's out on tour. He said that it's a business decision. The 5th year option, I don't think makes a lot of sense. Period.
Well, right now, I mean, that's definitely going to be the thought for a lot of people. All right, follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ. Catch his work there at ESPN. Marcel, as always, appreciate you. We will catch up later on in the week, my friend. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
You got it. There you go. And myedgedrink.com is the website. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. The finest energy drink on the planet. I promise you. Order it to your home, to your office, wherever you want. It's a great elixir. I love it with my Grey Goose. Ooh, doggy. Oh, man, it makes that vodka disappear. Go to myedgedrink.com, order it anywhere, to your home, to your office. Use our code BIG-O and get 10% off myedgedrink.com.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.